Let's start with Ukraine. President Volodymyr Zelensky said Ukraine's forces are moving forward in the south. Ukrainian troops in the east are holding off Russian attacks. Ukraine says that it has reclaimed 8 villages as a result of its counteroffensive against Russian forces. Kiev is believed to have set aside 12 brigades of thousands of troops each. Most of these brigades are yet to join the fight. Russian President Vladimir Putin has said that Moscow is seeing a lull in Ukraine's counteroffensive. He added that Kiev has suffered heavy losses in attacks in the south. The war that began 16 months ago has now reached a critical point where Ukraine has launched a long-expected push. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken met the new Turkish foreign minister on Wednesday. The meeting comes ahead of the NATO summit scheduled for next month. Turkey has objected to Sweden's bid to join NATO, citing security concerns. However, other members of the bloc have expressed hope that Sweden will become a NATO member in time for the mid-July summit. US President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden welcomed India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the White House. The White House said that the leaders gathered for an intimate dinner and enjoyed a musical tribute to the regions of India. Prime Minister Modi arrived in Washington, D.C. from New York after leading the International Yoga Day event at the UN headquarters. The Biden administration said it will make it easier for Indians to live and work in the United States. The State Department is looking into a new plan. According to the plan, a small number of workers on H-1B visas will be able to renew it without having to travel abroad. Indian nationals are the most active users of the US H-1B visa program. Indians were 73% of H-1B workers in 2022. New Zealand Prime Minister Chris Hipkins has reacted to US President Joe Biden's latest remarks on his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping. Biden called Xi a dictator. Hipkins said he does not agree with Biden. Hipkins is scheduled to visit China from the 25th of June to the 30th of June. He will be leading a trade delegation that includes some of New Zealand's biggest companies. China called Biden's remarks a violation of political dignity. A gas explosion took place at a barbecue restaurant in China's Ningxiao region. At least 31 people have been killed. The blast happened due to a leaking liquefied petroleum gas tank at the restaurant. At least 7 people are being treated for burns and cuts. More than 30 people have been injured in a large explosion in central Paris. The blast happened in a building that housed a design school. Local authorities say that this was a gas explosion. Emergency teams have been rushed to the spot and 2 people are believed to be missing. A multi-vehicle collision happened in Mexico. The accident involved 6 vans, a stock van, 4 tractor-trailers, 4 cars and a truck. At least 5 people were killed and 14 others were injured. Authorities shared images of heavy smoke coming out of several crashed vehicles. An Israeli drone killed at least 3 militants in the West Bank on Wednesday. This is according to a Palestinian news agency. The use of a drone to carry out an attack in the West Bank is a rare move by Israeli forces. It comes a day after 4 people were killed in a shootout near an Israeli settlement in the West Bank. A gun battle at a women's prison in Honduras has killed at least 46 people. The incident was triggered by 2 rival gangs. Now, authorities say the country's military police of public order will control 21 prisons from the 1st of July. The officials will train and educate at least 2,000 new prison guards. The country's president said she's shocked by the monstrous murder of women. Iran's foreign minister is in Oman's Muscat. He was greeted by Oman's Minister of the Royal Office. According to an official statement, the 2 officials discussed bilateral cooperation. They also talked about means of enhancing and achieving joint interests. There's just a few hours left of oxygen in the Titanic Submersible. The US and Canadian authorities continue their search and rescue operations in the Atlantic Ocean. According to the US Coast Guard, the Canadian aircraft detected banging noises. The crew looking for the missing submersible heard the banging sound on Tuesday and Wednesday. However, authorities are not sure about the source of the noise. Moving to climate, the flood situation in India's northeastern state of Assam has worsened. Over 1 lakh people in 20 districts have been affected by this deluge. Several rivers are flowing above the danger mark due to heavy rains in the region. Meanwhile, relief camps have been set up and rescue operations are underway. Beijing has issued its second most severe warning for high temperatures. The Chinese capital raised an orange alert. It has warned that temperatures could rise as high as 39 degrees Celsius in most parts of the city. Scorching heat is expected to persist throughout the weekend. French President Emmanuel Macron will host world leaders and experts in Paris today for a climate summit. The aim of the summit is to figure out a plan to allocate more funds for climate financing. This summit does not promise binding decisions. However, leaders are expected to make some strong commitments on climate financing for developing countries. People held a protest against the French city of Nantes. The protest was against the shutdown of climate NGO called Uprisings of the Earth. A French government official accused the group of encouraging demonstrations in March against an irrigation reservoir. According to a new report, children who bear the brunt of climate crisis are being failed by climate funding commitments. Only 2.4% of key global climate funds can be classified as child responsive. According to the UNICEF, more than 1 billion children are at an extremely high risk of impacts of the climate crisis. The white cliffs of Dover in England were illuminated in red and blue heat indicator stripes. These are also known as warming stripes. This was done to show the planet's temperature change over the years. This also aimed to raise awareness against climate inaction. The graphics that indicate global warming were created in 2018. A conservationist group called Jungle Keepers has teamed up with a Swedish robotic company. This is to pilot a new study to reforest the Madre Dios region in the Peruvian Amazon. Under the plan, the company provides robots that help plant trees. In the center of the forest is a solar-powered nursery where the Yumi robot plants the seeds of trees. The robot is capable of planting 600 seeds within hours. On to business now. The German economy will contract more than previously expected this year. This is according to the country's economic think tank, IFO Institute. It expects Germany's GDP to fall by 0.4% this year. This is a dip from an earlier forecast of a 0.1% drop. The Australian Central Bank will decide the term of its governor in the coming weeks. It will decide whether to reappoint Philip Lowe for a second term or to select a new leader. If reappointed as the head, this will be his second term. Lowe is a 4-decade veteran who has lately undergone fire. In 2021, Lowe said that the central bank will not raise interest rates until 2024. However, he reversed course and delivered a rate hike in mid-2022. Singapore's central bank has imposed fines on several lenders operating in the region. These include Citibank, the Development Bank of Singapore, Overseas Chinese Banking Corp, and insurer Swiss Life. It has collectively charged the banks nearly $3 million. The fines come over accusations of breaching anti-money laundering requirements. According to reports, Swiss financial giant UBS will start cutting some investment banking jobs from next month. The reductions will affect Credit Suisse employees in Australia and China. This comes after UBS completed the takeover of Credit Suisse last week. Meanwhile, financial firm JP Morgan has reportedly cut about 20 investment banking positions. The cuts have affected the firm's Asian operations. Employees covering deals in areas like consumers, healthcare, and private capital markets have been impacted. This is the second round of layoffs at JP Morgan in Asia this year. Ride-hailing app Uber will lay off 200 people from its recruitment division. This will affect less than 1% of the company's workforce. However, it will reportedly wipe away 35% of its recruitment team. Earlier this year, Uber laid off 150 employees in its freight service division. American electric truck maker Rivian has acquired Swedish route planning app maker Iternio. The deal value has not been disclosed. Iternio's app provides route calculation services. The app takes into account factors like the weather conditions, charging stops, vehicle weight, and more. The acquisition will help Rivian add this technology to its electric pickup trains and SUVs. US lawmakers are urging the country's antitrust regulator to finalize new protections for car buyers. In June last year, the Federal Trade Commission had proposed some protection measures. This required car dealers to make necessary disclosures to customers. The FTC had then argued that the rules would save customers time and money. Meanwhile, the Federal Trade Commission has accused Amazon of enrolling millions of customers into its paid subscription without their consent. The e-commerce giant also allegedly made it difficult for customers to cancel their Prime membership. The FTC said that Amazon used deceptive interface designs. These tricked consumers into enrolling and renewing their membership. An Australian cyber regulator has accused Twitter of spreading hateful content. The regulator has demanded explanation from the social media firm on its handling of online hate. Reports say Twitter has become the country's most complained about platform. This is ever since Elon Musk bought the microblogging site last year. Moving to sports, in cricket, Scotland stunned Ireland in a last ball thriller during the Cricket World Cup qualifiers. Scotland won the match by 1 wicket. Scotland's Michael Leask smashed an unbeaten 91 to chase the 287 target set by Ireland. Ireland's Curtin Camper scored an impressive century with 120 runs to his credit. Scotland were 152 for 7 in the 34th over, but dramatically chased the target on the last ball of the game. Oman beat UAE by 5 wickets in the World Cup qualifiers. They restricted the UAE side to 227 runs upon winning the toss and choosing to field first. Oman's Aqib Ilyas, Shoaib Khan and Mohammad Nadeem struck half centuries each. This is Oman's second consecutive win after defeating Ireland on Monday. Manchester City has agreed to sign an over $31 million deal to sign Mateo Kovacic from Chelsea. The Croatian midfielder's transfer will also include £5 million in add-ons. Kovacic joined Chelsea from Real Madrid in 2018. He has won the Champions League 3 times with Real Madrid and once with Chelsea. This could be one of several summer departures from the London club. On the flip side, Manchester City's midfielder Ilkay Gundogan will join La Liga side Barcelona. The 32-year-old played an instrumental role in Manchester City's maiden Champions League trophy. He is believed to have been offered a 3-year contract by Barcelona. Gundogan is likely to join the Spanish side when his City contract expires at the end of June. English team Southampton has appointed Russell Martin as their new manager on a 3-year deal. Martin led the Welsh club Swansea to the 10th position in the Premier League Championship. Southampton was relegated from the Premier League last season. The 37-year-old Englishman has been appointed to bring the club back to the top flight. In football, India beat Pakistan 4-0 at the SAFF Championship. The match was played at the Sri Kantirawa Stadium in the Indian city of Bengaluru. Indian skipper Sunil Chhetri scored a hat-trick. He struck the goals in the 10th, 15th and 74th minutes of the game. Indian forward Udanta Singh scored the 4th goal of the night in the 81st minute. Moving to tennis, 5-time Wimbledon singles champions Venus Williams is set to make a comeback for the 24th time. The 43-year-old American was given a wildcard entry on Wednesday. Williams beat 48th ranked Camila Giorgi on Monday in the English town of Birmingham. This was her first victory over a player in the top 50 in nearly 4 years. Top-seeded Russian player Daniil Medvedev has secured his place in the quarterfinals of the Hali Open. He defeated Serbia's Laszlo Djere 6-3, 6-7 and 6-3 in an thrilling match on Wednesday. The former world number 1 was the runner-up at the Hali in 2022. He will now face Spanish player Roberto Bautista in the quarterfinals. French player Caroline Garcia has reached the quarterfinals of the Berlin Open. The world's number 4 defeated Australian counterpart Jamie Fourlis 6-3 and 6-2 to secure her place in the last 8 of the tournament. The WTA tournament is taking place in Berlin just 2 weeks before the start of Wimbledon. Moving to badminton, Indian shuttlers HS Pranoy and Parupalli Kashyap have advanced to the pre-quarterfinals of the Taipei Open 2023. Both the players have won in the men's singles category. World number 9 Pranoy will take on his Indonesian counterpart in the second round, while former Commonwealth Games gold medalist Kashyap will face local favourite Su Li-yang in the pre-quarterfinals. Horror series Wednesday has become the most watched English language series on Netflix. It has surpassed season 4 of the supernatural series Stranger Things' views on the platform. This has happened after Netflix tweaked its ranking metrics. Viewership is now measured by the number of hours watched divided by the total runtime of the show. The 2023 Maui Film Festival has announced its film lineup and honorary list. Actor Yara Shahidi will receive the Shining Star Award. Meanwhile, the Rising Star Award will be given to actor Annie Gonzalez. The festival will showcase 11 films and documentaries at its open-air theatre. Maui Film Festival will take place from the 28th of June to the 2nd of July in Hawaii. Rapper and music producer Dr. Dre is set to receive the first ever ASCAP Hip Hop Icon Award. He has been given the award for his unmatched impact on hip hop's art and culture. The ASCAP Rhythm and Soul Music Awards are celebrating 50 years of hip hop. The ceremony will take place in Los Angeles today. Music streaming platform iHeartRadio has announced its Titanium Awards winner. 6 musicians have received this honor for songs that reached 1 billion spins across iHeart stations. Doja Cat's Woman and Ed Sheeran's Shivers made it to the list of winners. Singer Harry Styles' kind gesture at the Cardiff leg of his Love On 2 concert is winning hearts. He paused the show for a pregnant fan as she wanted to use the restroom. The singer assured her that she won't miss a thing. When she returned, Styles also helped her choose a name for the baby. Singers Shakira and Manuel Turizo have announced their debut collaboration. The two are set to release a song titled Copa Vacía. The Colombian singers broke the news with a poster that shows Shakira as a mermaid and Turizo as a prince. The song will be released on the 29th of June. Basketballer turned DJ Shaquille O'Neal has set up his debut bass music festival. The event is named Shaq's Bass All-Stars Festival. It will feature 14 artists including music producer Alice in Wonderland and DJ Sullivan King. Shaq, who plays under the name DJ Diesel, will also perform at the festival. The show will open on the 16th of September in Texas in the US. The Phase 2 lineup for electronic dance music festival Imagine Music 2023 is out. DJ Duo Slander will play a techno-heavy set named Slander Presents Before Dawn. Bass artists Ganja White Knight and Subtronics will present their first ever back-to-back show. The Imagine Music Festival will take place from the 14th to the 17th of September in Georgia in the US. The alleged shooter who opened fire at the Beyond Wonderland Music Festival has been identified as an Army Ranger. He was reportedly stationed at a nearby US Army base. The festival was taking place on the 17th of June in Washington when the incident happened. 2 people were killed and 2 others wounded after the Army Ranger opened fire on the festival campgrounds. The soldier has been booked on 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of assault, and 1 count of domestic violence assault. And finally, rapper Quando Rondo has been jailed on drugs and illegal street gang charges. The 24-year-old has been charged with being a manager of a street gang named Rolling 60s. He has also been charged with distributing marijuana and opioids. Rondo has a bond hearing scheduled tomorrow. The hearing will decide whether he should be detained or released as his case awaits trial.